Hello and once again, welcome back everybody to Mechabellum. Playing, I don't even know what I went for here, playing against Nuclear. As far as I'm aware, the first letters of this name are also like Nuclear or Nuclear Power or something like that. Yeah. I think, full disclosure at the beginning, there is no nukes in this game, if memory serves. But if there were, I would be afraid. Even if they come down round 3 or something. Round 4, I think, is actually the earliest. So if there is a round 4 nuke, I would expect this player to go for it. Since I'm not entirely sure what I should do here, I don't think I need more chaff clear than I have. I just went for some additional crawlers to delay the storm crawlers hitting important units, and kept the Fang back in order to be late chaff, which hopefully will work. But my opponent right now definitely has the chaff clearing advantage, and these Fangs unfortunately don't do all that much. We have some missiles destroying the arcs, the arc lights on my opponent's side. And kinda tanking for a bit, but is it gonna be enough? Well, Orange Man is still alive, and this is going to hit every single one of these Stormcallers exactly once. Which means they don't go down here. But at the end of the day, I still have some delayed chaff. And that is hopefully going to secure the win. Yes, by 2 Stormcallers. And Orange Man died and leveled these. We have subsidized Mustangs or haste module. Even improved Wraith, definitely worth thinking about at least. So my opponent skipped and I go for the improved Wraiths. I am Marksman Specialist, he is actually the Aerial Specialist, which is surprising. I wonder why I even was thinking about this. I think it was basically, oh look, this is a Chinese player. I'm expecting to see Vulcans here and just abuse the absolute you-know-what out of it. So if the long-term plan is go Wasp and Wraith, improved Wraith should prove useful. I think that was my reasoning behind it. If memory serves, we are not going to see the full Vulcan experience here. He dropped an additional pack of Stormcallers. I just dropped some additional chaff. Filling out the board in the first few rounds, at least in my opinion, is a decent idea. Though in retrospect, I think I should have put the crawlers further behind. It's unfortunate that this thing can just very easily eat all of these crawlers. I simply don't yet have the chaff clear required to really deal with this army. Arclight gets storm called upon. My Stormcallers get splashed. On this side there's a lot of storms. Let's just speed this along. I don't have too much time today and I want to cast all the games that I want for this week. I think all of these are actually from a Twitch stream. So if you caught the latest Twitch stream from last Sunday at the time that this will probably release, then you've probably already seen all of these games. Yeah, all in all, not too much damage here. We're just kinda storming each other to tiny bits of units here. Here's a Vulcan, or Fire Badgers, Scorpions, Melting Points, everything here I can find some reason for, mostly because the Scorpion can deal with all of this. And again, the Melting Point too. I go for the Fire Badgers, and what's my opponent picking? I wonder. Yeah, he's going for the Vulcan. This is also where I decide to drop an improved Wraith. I mean, I got it, might as well use it. Though realistically, maybe Fire Badgers would have been better. That said, he has no anti-air despite these few Fangs here. Well, we shall see. He puts down a level on these arc lights. I put a level on this Stormcaller. Another marksman here, because when Vulcans show up, I don't really want to have too much chaff. He put another unit of chaff here, I guess, to kinda not get all of his units dragged towards the middle. Now these Fire Badgers, there is nothing here that can actually oppose them. They kinda just go in and kill everything, in a sense. The Wraith is also doing good work. It is definitely capable of dealing with all of these Fangs. And then some units. Orange Man has zeroed in on the Vulcan and will actually kill it fairly effectively. There goes the Vulcan, and that basically means my opponent does not really have anything left. That is quite a significant win for me, given how my opponent dropped the Vulcan. The interesting thing is he now has kinda two problems to deal with. He gets a tech specialist, I can understand that. If the game goes long, and it may very well, there could be a bit of an issue. I don't go for that. I instead go for the heavy armor, throw it on these fire badgers, and each of these fire badgers has a comparable amount of health compared to this Vulcan, at least. Do Vulcans really have almost 40k HP without any bonuses? I thought it was 30k. I guess that's Melters. And Vulcans have more. Melters got nerfed a bunch, deservedly. I decided to go into more Stormcallers, because, well, why not? Let's just try and artillery down my entire opponent's board. He goes into some marksmen. And they can definitely destroy this Wraith fairly easily. So maybe by going Wraith, I simply baited him some more into the Vulcan plus Marksman build here, plus Stormcallers. This level 2 Marksman is doing a good amount of damage, but it's nothing compared to the health on these Fire Badgers. Meanwhile here, the opponent just gets Stormcalled. That's a Marksman dying for absolutely free, which in my opinion is horrible positioning. Wraith is definitely still tanking for a decent amount of time. Orangeman once again starting to hit the Vulcan. And given how this Vulcan is one single unit, it's definitely hitting hard. Chaff is on my opponent because of the suboptimal positioning, at least with the Stormcallers here now. I think they were new. Yeah, they were new. So he didn't place his units badly, it's just that he probably didn't expect more storms. And the wins are starting to look significant here. Down to less than half health. Here come melting points, or just iron blasts, I guess. Well, so what are we doing here? Where are we throwing our units? I threw down some levels on these outside crawlers for reasons I'm not even entirely sure why. I decided to try and iron blast the middle side. The Vulcan has not really been a huge problem so far. This marksman is now level 4, and it hits for 9.3k damage, which is a lot. My opponent decides to throw down additional chaff by the looks of things. Makes sense in order to cover his units. And I decide to throw down some wasps. So my opponent is kinda just having too many problems to fix right now. He puts range on the marksman, but is that going to do too much? This thing is now officially doing more than 10,000 damage. I'm surprised he threw that here. Like, if you want to get anything, these fire badgers and that marksman and those leveled stormcallers are kinda just the things you want to get. It's going to get the stormcallers if nothing else. And a bunch of crawlers. But the other units kinda just get out here. And they will probably drive ahead, yeah. They drive ahead as they just roast everything. Well, now they get caught. At the same point, due to the range, I am missing this marksman. But the Wraith, under cover of the wasps, is kinda just getting in on this side. The crawlers have gotten in. The Vulcan is way too far forward, it just gets destroyed. And it's looking even bigger. Even bigger here. Health-wise, this is looking pretty freaking devastating.